This is a review and overview, or overlook, or whatever you want to call it, of the Hyrule Historia. I have had a little bit of a chance to flip through it, but not a super deep, in-depth look. But I figured that you would enjoy looking through the book and seeing what there is to offer, and maybe this might persuade you to even get it. Okay, well, to begin, of course, there's the really nice gold lettering and symbols. It's very decorative, as you can see, the green cover. We open it up, and the first thing you'll see is actually a scene from Skyward Sword, from when it's retelling the legend of the goddess Hylia sending up the island up into the sky. Next we have the Hylian shield and Master Sword. I'm not going to talk during every thing of this because that would just take way too long. But I'll flip through, and here's an interview with the creator of The Legend of Zelda. Here's the table of contents. That kind of gives you an overview of what is in the book. This is some very nice artwork done for Skyward Sword. Notice it has some writing up there. Oop, haven't actually gotten a chance to sit down and read this, but I actually hope to do that next couple of days. I think this first section is talking about primarily Skyward Sword. You have the pictures of Zelda. And of course, Demise. For anybody who hasn't actually played, Demise, and this is a spoiler, so fast forward a few moments if you don't want a spoiler. Demise is the king of demons, and he is the boss, or the main villain in Skyward Sword. While, yes, you do fight this guy quite often. I actually don't know how to pronounce his name, so I usually call him Gerahim, but I don't know exactly how you pronounce that. So anyway, even though you fight him more often, he actually is to Demise what Fi is to you. So Fi or Fi, whatever you want to call her. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Anyway, Demise carries a dark version of the Master Sword. He is the basically the precursor to Ganondorf. Ganondorf is basically his reincarnated form that comes back. So basically, Demise and Ganondorf are one and the same. Here we get into more Skyward Sword characters and artwork and so on. I'm not going to go through every single page of this because there's tons of it. So I'll just go through. Oh, and this is a very fun boss. If you haven't played the game, this boss is actually very fun. So, I recommend if you've not played the game that you get it and play it, because that boss is awesome. This character is also very cool. I like him. He's got an attitude and he's funny. There's a very nice picture for 25th anniversary. This is where we get into the chronology of the Zelda series. This is the official timeline. If you haven't seen the official timeline already, this is the official timeline. It has 3 splits in the timeline. During Ocarina of Time, there is a continuation of the adult era in which Link defeated Ganondorf, blah, 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 after he had taken over the world, and it goes down this path. When Link goes back in time as a child and warns Zelda, it goes this path. And if Link dies during any of his adventure, then it goes this path, in which he is Ganondorf is successful and basically takes over the world, and you have to stop him and everything involving that. So that's the official timeline. It also gets into Skyward Sword and explaining it. He goes into how this connects with Ocarina of Time. And this kind of goes in and out of order. It kind of explains it in an odd order, so it's not like you go just game by game by game. It's not exactly like that. Well, I mean, it is, but it's not. There's, like, you may find a section from one game after another game. So, and it also has, I don't know if you can see this, but a very nice alphabet there. That is the Gerudo script from Ocarina of Time. And what they've done is they've made it correspond to the English alphabet. So basically, if you want to write in Gerudo, you can. So that's kind of fun. They've done that with several of the versions of Hylian in here, but the problem there is it's all in Japanese, so unless you know how to speak or write Japanese, I don't think that you're going to find that as useful. So, if you go through the entire storyline, it explains pretty in depth about quite a few mystery puzzle pieces that we've all kind of been wondering about. So, and here is the Hylian alphabet from Twilight Princess. It's pretty cool. Going past this a little bit, get into more of the like I said, it's all part of the storyline and understanding it, filling in the holes. So the next is kind of just like if I can get this page turned, kind of like some concept art and production art. Some of it's really cool. I suggest that anybody who is a fan of the Zelda series should definitely get this book. It's very, very, very neat. And very enjoyable. So, of course, this is, I don't know about anybody else, but this is the coolest version of Ganondorf. So, yeah, if you don't like that, that's your tough luck, because this version of Ganondorf was the original version, and to me, this will always be Ganondorf. Yes, the Twilight Princess version of Ganondorf and Wind Waker. Yeah. I understand. A lot of people like it. But, yeah, the original version is the best. So, getting into more of the artwork. I have to admit, I think this is supposed to be from Spirit Tracks. I've not played Spirit Tracks, but I have to admit that version of Ganondorf is actually pretty cool looking. And of course, we got some Link there. Link's always awesome. It's different versions of Midna. Gorons. Gotta love the Gorons. Of course, there's a Link page that shows all the different versions of Link. If you really want to know the truth, my favorite versions of Link are Ocarina of Time Link, Twilight Princess Link, and Skyward Sword Link. I also do like this version and the Link's Awakening and A Link to the Past. Those two were always pretty cool. I'm not much on Toon Link. I know a lot of people are very, very fond of that art style. I personally am not. So, of course, the different forms of Ganon. Of course, I don't know why they didn't show his different form in A Link to the Past. I mean, I know it's similar to this form, but it's a little different. And then they have a game catalog, and it shows all of the different Zelda titles. So that's pretty cool. And then we have one last interview. And then we have the manga for Skyward Sword, which reads in the traditional Japanese way. So you have to read from the back to the front. This takes place, apparently, I've not read all the way through it, I've read the first 2 or 3 pages. Apparently it takes place before Skyward Sword does, back during the time that Hylia was a goddess. So, this book is definitely worth the money. Anybody who has been on the fence about getting it, I highly suggest you get it. It's a pretty cool book. There's a lot to it. And I guess that's about all I want to say about it. I hope that you found this review interesting and somewhat enlightening. If you enjoy this review, please subscribe to my video, and hopefully more videos like this will come out. Okay, thank you for your time.